It's your boy, Mikey Money, here to give you guys the Friday best bets. We've got the NHL college basketball and the NBA in play this evening. We've got a 4-pack in the NHL. We've got a 5-pack in college hoops and a 2-pack in the NBA to get her done. And we're reformatting here because YouTube says so. And as much as we don't want to let the man keep us down, the fact of the matter is they say the first 30 seconds of the screen is most important. So we want to get the promotion across YouTube and get this thing right. Cold opens are tough, but it ain't that rough when you got winning bets to share with the cast and crew. So let's get to work, you guys. This is Pregaming over on the Sports Money Network.
I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
I'm fired up. It's Friday. I hope you guys are excited as well. We got to get this background finished up here, so I'm working on it, you guys. I am diligently working, but man, I told y'all, afternoon sports are where it's at, and we're trying to get that cash action. We're looking pretty good here to start this thing off as well. We got a nice little tennis winner to pop the day off. Listen, I shared with everybody the way to get serious about this sports betting. You want to take it, it's a hobby for a lot. I get it. It's recreational, and I got buddies that just want to throw 5-leg parlays together. They don't care. They're like, I'll put $20 down on a 5-leg parlay, and if it cashes, it cashes. If it doesn't, your picks suck. Okay. But we got a plus 110 cash already in the bag with the Win Club. I also gave it out to the community at Sports Money, and that was Flavio Caboli at Indian Wells. I've got 2 more plays. One's already in play. We're just waiting on one of these legs to cash. It'll be a minus 145. It was a 2-legger. They were both juicy. And the last leg, I'm going to give it to you guys here today. It is none other than Jensen Brooksby. We already made some money with Jensen Brooksby right off the pop here earlier this week. So we're going to go back to him today. He's a plus 105 price tag at the time I pushed this out there. I thought we were going to get the Italy winner. It was 1-0 at halftime. They went up 2-0. I was going to say I was doing backflips, but that's not practical. So then that late goal, and listen, took a shot, didn't get there. Disappointed. I've got 2 Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico games lined up here. Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Chechia, and Chinese Taipei, I guess, are the 2 spots that I've got loaded in there for winnable as well. So there is a lot of action. And I already told you guys with this afternoon betting, you're going to make your money back and then some. We already cashed on a college basketball play. We've got another college basketball play underway. We got another one that's about to start. So lots of action out there for the early bettors. Did drop the Drake under 152.5. I think they scored 300 points in that game. Northeastern was an easy JPZ outright winner, and riding on this UIC Flames right now. So lots of action underway already. Today, I'm going to give you guys some content in the Canucks and Blackhawks, the Hurricanes and Oilers, the Habitants and the Ducks, and the Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Knights to bring us home in the NHL. Then we'll lace up the high tops, take it to the collegiate hardwood, talk about an Ivy League battle between Penn and Brown with a monster trend. You are not going to want to miss out on there. UCF and Virginia's got some intersecting zeros. We'll talk about the Battle of Ohio. Can Miami of Ohio stay undefeated? And we'll bring her home with UNLV and San Diego State. San Diego. Then we've got 2 NBA spots there, the Mavericks and the Celtics. Can the Celtics smash? Do they win the second quarter? we'll talk about that spot there. And then, of course, the Pelicans and the Suns to put a bow on the show. I'll remind everybody, today is trade deadline day. So, look, got to be aware of what's going on out there. And Colorado Avalanche just got stronger. Big acquisition coming in. Lots of moving parts, really, across the NHL as it stands right now. So, kind of waiting to see. Oh, shoot. You know what? They're still waiting to see what happens as the dust settles here. But just be aware of that tonight and tomorrow. If you're going to make future bets, not future bets, but like future bets as in bets for tomorrow, just be aware that some of these guys are potentially trade bait. Now, the deadline's approached. It's gone. So it's just about moving pieces at this point. And most of those guys moving. I just realized I forgot to do my Fanatics fast cash. So we'll see. Another fucking 30. No points, no free money there. I like it though. One time I won $50. It's like, all right, I'll try 50. So anyways, we're going to move into the college hardwoods, as I mentioned, with some of these big games out there and some big trends and the tournament games starting this week and next. We'll get after it. So lots to take care of here. And we have to bounce back, good with the bad. Last night was the bad. We were probably due for a letdown spot. And, we won the Rangers game against the Leafs. Now, remember, I gave you guys like the next 6 plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think they're going to go, what did I say? Was it 5-1 or 4-2 over the stretch? They did lose again last night to the Rangers of all teams. So, and then the Ottawa Senators just busted up Calgary. I told you, with Weegar gone and that defensive being banged up there. It was a glorious spot too, by the way. If you like the cap, this is where you have to consider these live betting opportunities. Maybe they're not the same unit size and ratio, but they went to a plus 125 after they got scored on right away. The regulation play was plus 185. Took them both again. Just because there was one early goal didn't dissuade me from the fact that there were injuries galore and Calgary are sellers. So, outside of that, though, not a lot went well for us in the lines of the NBA. The Flyers blew it to the Utah Mammoth. In fact, I think I'm going to add a play to the lineup this evening. So, no. Man. But we're getting ready for the weekend, you guys. There are a ton of activities happening here in the Old Sports Money Network, as always. VB MMA Picks, one of the top cappers in all of the world of UFC, has his breakdown for the main event, the co-main event, and a bonus fight over there on the Sports Money Network. You can hear it from the best of the business early in the week, giving you guys the read on those 3 battles. We've got the live show tomorrow at 4:45. We've got Ramon Scott at 9 a.m. with the morning steam. I'll come on with Mickey the Mac Daddy, and we'll go through college basketball for the Betting the Board show. Taking the world by storm, winning in leaps and bounds in college hoops. We've got tennis. We've got golf. We've got hockey. We've got so much going on right now between basketball, the tournament coming up. Lots of things in play. Talking about doing a tournament show. I don't know if you guys would be inclined to want to do a bracket show. But I was thinking about recruiting Mickey the Mac Daddy to get involved with me as we put together a bracket. And then watch us win it all and try to figure out how that's going to get split up. But that's what I was thinking about. I don't know if you guys are interested. But that be the way that things go down. So, looking forward to this evening, looking forward to this weekend, man. We got just a bunch of sports on deck here. Things are starting to kind of normalize a little bit post this, Olympic situation that took place and now the trade deadline. So we're getting ready. We're positioning ourselves to fire for the back half of the year, and fire we shall. So appreciate everybody that's here. If you guys haven't done so, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button already here. What are we waiting on? All I need you guys to do is smash that thumbs up button. There's a lot of ways to contribute to the Sports Money Network. Leaving your plays in the comments area, certainly we love those. We love your reasoning, the logic behind them. Love to see all of that. Love to see you guys that want to go out there and support by becoming a member of the channel. I try to get back to you guys each and every day with free plays. And then, of course, the premium plays, the best bets, the absolute knockdown, drag out spots that we like the most are available at Winner by Capper here on the network. And you can support me over there at Mikey Money. Free plays, premium plays. Try to give you guys action on all the sports cards that are going on out there. Basically, take pride in the fact that I get the opportunity to break down a card and present it to you guys. Some guys are like, I'll give you a couple plays a week. I like to take action. I want to break it down. I want to give you my best bets. And then of course you judge me accordingly. But the least that you could do is smash the thumbs up button. Help us promote the show, continue to grow the Sports Money brand, and stay on brand with the changes that are coming in the future. Let's go, everybody out there. The 9 Legacy paid in full parlay of the day is ready for you guys. This is what I'm talking about. My guy's coming in. He's sharing the goods. And he's got the Southeast Missouri State, Ball State, Tennessee State, Edmonton Oilers all on the spread. His best bet, Miami Heat plus 7.5. And the Nuggets on the money line. The Nuggies. For our guy, 9 Legacy in the house. Appreciate him. Blake M says Cash Real Madrid over 2.5. Total goals. Good start. Good luck. That was my total goals in games, both sides. Let's go. Kelly V says last night, every winner in the NHL was by the puck line. That's impressive. Stop Geo says, let's get it. Kelly V says, time to continue to fade of Calgary and Vancouver. Dale Fixes was thinking of you when I took that live Ottawa plus 125. Yeah, man. Like I said, they go down early. Now, you have to be careful. I've told you guys the bankroll management theory that I partake in. Different bankroll when it comes to live betting versus pre-flop betting. But we know live betting. I told you guys this before too, right? I don't know. Was I having a dream? Was it prophecy? I don't know what it was, but I did read somewhere that the future direction of sports betting. So think about what I told you guys. Even a week ago, Slavo was talking about how they never live bet. I don't live bet. It's dangerous, right? Okay. You're variably committed and certainly not engaged, right? That's what that's called. Just call it what it is. Then you look at it and say, well, we live bet and we do it better than anybody. We have a number of shows that we do it for throughout the calendar year. We do it for fun. We do it because we get to hang out with our buddies, but we also make a shit ton of money doing it. So, then I told you guys the other day, 54% of the betting marketplace for DraftKings came in from live betting. Over half, 54% live betting. Now I told you the future direction. When you go into a gas station or a convenience store to buy a scratch off ticket, they're going to have it set up so that you can make live wagers right there. You stopping into Sunoco for a cup of coffee and an egg sandwich, you might as well live bet European basketball, because why the hell not? So we're going to see that continue to move. And that's why I tie that back to what's going on with that. Like when I mentioned these live betting spots, when you hear the breakdown and the analysis, don't get, look, it sucks for me on the under in that early, was it Drake? Saw the live total go up to 179, and I was like, oh man, that's 27 points. So I threw a half a unit on it live. It lost, obviously. They got 179 total points, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? You're picking up what I'm putting down. It's important that you don't just panic. And this isn't just set it and forget it, right? We're engaged sports bettors trying to use the information presented to us to grow the bankroll. The Sharp Respected Betting Report has come in the NHL. I haven't even looked at it yet. Let's talk about it here. We'll call this little segment the Sharp Respected Betting segment. How about that? Very unique and original. Sharp Respected Betting, by the way, yesterday. They had the New York Rangers. They had the under in Philly. They had the over in Anaheim. Was that a clean sweep? The NHL today loaded for bear today. Wow. I even hesitate to give all these out to you guys here. Look at all this Sharp Respected Betting action. Let me make sure they're all in play today, because sometimes they slip games in there for tomorrow as well. I think they got one in there for tomorrow. So we can take some action on one early. Yeah. Look, I agree with this one move too. I know that there's acquisition taking place here, but the Carolina Hurricanes are the first bet on the Sharp Respected Betting card against them Edmonton Oilers. Are the Oilers broken? We'll talk about that game. Colorado Avalanche, play number 2. A lot of people were skittish. I say This line tells you what's up. Some people think Dallas is the best. You don't think Colorado, the best team in probably hockey history, knows that they can't seem to get past Dallas and going to come in focused? Colorado Avalanche made the list. The Minnesota Wild. The Minnesota Wild must be a play for tomorrow. Nope, I'm sorry. It's against the Vegas Golden Knights. Excuse me. I should know that. We're going to talk about that game. And then the play for tomorrow are the Ottawa Senators. So early action there. And it looks like they're trying to take advantage of the number. So didn't even look at that game for tomorrow yet. So let's see. Sharp, respected betting. I like this little segment. Give you guys some information. I'm paying for it. So give it to you guys. As a token of my appreciation for you guys being, it's against the Kraken. Wow. A 10 p.m. game, minus 142 right now on DraftKings against the Seattle Kraken tomorrow night. I told you I was going to fade the Kraken. I was going to fade the Mammoth. The Mammoth stuck it in my tailpipe last night. Additional plays that have made the sharp respecting betting report from a totals perspective. The St. Louis Blues, San Jose Sharks over 6.5. The New York Islanders and the Anaheim Ducks over 6.5 as well. Concludes the sharp respected NHL portion of the show. I've got sharp respected betting in the NBA. We've got the LA Clippers +7 sharp respected betting action. Also the Pelicans and Suns under 226.5 sharp respected bettors being tracked, and the most sharp action is coming on that under in the Pelicans 226.5. Yesterday they had the Golden State Warriors and Miami and Brooklyn under 224.5. So let's take a look here. How did those do? Golden State Warriors and Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn? Brooklyn got beat up. That game went over. 236 on a 224.5. And the Golden State Warriors +8.5. Wrong team favored. It went to overtime. Killed my under. But Golden State prevailed. Persevered to win. So you got a 1-on-1 spot there. Now you got some sharp respected betting information. There you go. Enjoy it, you guys. Like I said, it's a tool that I pay for. We talk about tools, technology, and expertise. Well, I want to know. I want as much information as I can absorb and consume so that when I go to push the button, I know. At least I know if I'm going head-to-head with the Sharps or not. Kelly V says, you like Chicago? That was a hell of a pick. Thank you, KV. My girl. Appreciate you being here, Kelly V. Let's see what else you guys have to say about this. Boy, some great comments here today. Blake M. Appreciate Blake M. Says, gotta go. We'll rewatch. Everyone join in on the UFC tomorrow live stream. Man, you know it. And it's a numbered event, which is fun. Kelly V says, under 230 in the Knicks. Denver, first meeting, double overtime. Kelly V says, don't be afraid of the NHL teams down 2, especially home teams down. Especially going into the third period. So MMHF and I started betting that overtime rule. You guys remember that? When the home team's down by 2 going into the third period, we were putting money on the overtime. Good price tags, +500s, +600s, +800s. Redbeard says live betting is almost the only way to go now. Shout out to Redbeard. Saw him last night over on the RSP network. Kelly V says Toronto went up to 236. I should have live bet the under that and moved to under since that was my top play last night. Shout out to Kelly V. Peter Gracia says happy Friday. Let's cash. Big Crypto. How did you like the LA Kings yesterday? I did. I liked them a lot. I came out on the winnable side of things. That was a premium play that I gave out early in the afternoon. Big Crypto. Great call from you. And I love the insight. If you guys haven't checked it out in the comments field, Big Crypto circles back and shares some of his wisdom as far as capping the card. So we're all working together, man. That's the most cool thing about this. I mean, I certainly making money is the cool thing about this. Building our bankrolls is the cool thing about this. But seeing you guys come in there and share insight as far as why you like what you like or plays that you're getting involved with, that's where there's the vision, right? We're all trying to work on this thing together to get there. And I appreciate you guys. Shout out to you, Big Crypto. Kelly V says, and you can catch a middle live betting as well. Yes, you can. Jerry Davis says, damn, what an afternoon on faves and unders. It's mostly dogs and overs. Kelly V says, note, only 8 times the Rangers scored first. Not sure if it's home or overall. Reason I posted Toronto score first. Reason for that play. Kelly V says, Vancouver's now lost the last 21 of the last 23. I'd like to point out, I don't know if you guys saw it or not. Nobody was talking about it, which is true to the show. We are innovators. We are a tip of the spear And Connor Garland got traded from the Vancouver Canucks. Now, I told you the other night I was taking a Connor Garland point. He was the last guy to miss only guy not to cash my parlay. And he got traded. Nobody, even nobody mentioned that guy. I did. I said, look out for him to get traded. PWR Critter says, payday, let's get it. Kelly V says, Mike, you like Chicago? Hell of a pick. Jerry Davis says, Miami was under for 2/3 of the game and then blew up. And Drew says, thoughts on UCF and the total? I do have thoughts on it. I'll get to it with you guys here in just a moment. So let's get to it. Let's get to work. If you guys haven't done it, I mentioned that again. Hit the thumbs up button. First game I've got for you. I was rushing to get this done. So let me hope. Let's just cross our fingers that all things go well. The Vancouver Canucks and the Chicago Blackhawks. First game on the docket. I gave you guys the hint, the tip, the inside intel. And that is, as Kelly V has related, you got to fade this Vancouver Canucks team. I mean, that's where this kind of cap starts. Kind of ends there, too. I mean, frankly, nothing going on with this. They are truly putting their stamp on the tank. They just don't care. We got some other tanking trends to kind of relate to in the NHL, but look, they're not even Nikita Tolopolo. We'll get another start. I only say that because I know he started before. Because I laughed the last time that I was like, they're putting this dirtbag out there, and he let up 6 goals and 37 shots. So did have to come off. Kevin Lankinen was getting shelled. So again, we've got another one of those situations that we look at. The goalie sitting there on the bench as a backup. He gets thrown into the fire in a shooting range. And then he goes back out and he starts the next game. So look, it is what it is. I'm fading him. Am I late to the party? No, I don't think I am. I think I've nailed it. I think I've been part of the ride here as of recent. Not every single game, but you won't believe it if I tell you. The team's win percentage is less than 35%. They're playing a team that's got a win percentage over 35%. They're playing in the same conference, and it's past game 60 of the season. Okay. Let's pick that apart for a second. That is tanking. You're less than 1/3 winning. You're playing a team that's more than 1/3 losing, so they're not bad, right? We talked about kind of that inherently that bad spot in the league. And it's the last quarter of the season. If you fade those tanking teams, you've won 22 straight times. That's it. Now the question is, how are you going to go about the Blackhawks? Now I'm mad at anybody that wants to go and just take a -145. In fact, the safe play, if there is such a thing, is take them boys on the puck line, or I'm sorry, on the money line. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to reach for the stars. Hope that at least I get to the clouds here, because I think this is a great opportunity for us to get involved on the puck line. And you're getting almost $2. Now 12, 14, and 5 at home, the Chicago Blackhawks, but I just gave you the haps on the craps. Now they're struggling too. I mean, they're coming back after 5 roadies. So you got to, or 4 road games since the Olympic break. They had a road game prior to that. So this is their homecoming for the Chicago Blackhawks, which adds to it to me on a Friday night. Are you kidding me? Get out of the way. I laid it. I'm playing it. I dropped the puck line, and it's +163 was the official number that I got for the Chicago Blackhawks. Big Crypto says MLB spring training today. I like the New York Mets over the Miami Marlins. I like the Chicago Blackhawks today also. I believe the Blackhawks will win and lose their next game. Okay. I like it, you guys. Thank you all for being here. If you're listening live on the replay, I guess that doesn't make sense. If you're listening on the replay, I appreciate you tuning in there as well. Make sure you smash the like button. Those, even after the show, they still count. After the party is the after party. And then there's the hotel lobby. So anyhow, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Let's talk Carolina Hurricanes and the Edmonton Oilers. And this is another one of them spots. Let's not try to get creative. Let's not try to overthink it. Let's not try to just talk ourselves out of. Now, I shared with you SRB to kick off the show. I hope you like that. I can't I can't promise. It usually comes in at 5 o'clock. It's out of my control when it comes in. So I subscribe to a pay site for that information, and because I find it valuable and I want to know what's going on. So I'll try to, if you guys like it, I'll try to share it every spot. So the Hurricanes, we know they're looking to fade the Oilers. I think inherently two teams are in trouble here, the Oilers and the Panthers, for no other reason than it's just mileage on the tires. And, you know, you can't go to the Stanley Cup Finals and play an extra month of hockey every single season without eventually at some point things kind of falling apart. Brandon Bussi will start for the Carolina Hurricanes. Tristan Jarry. I should say Brandon Bussi is unconfirmed, but Tristan Jarry is confirmed. Now, it's been about a week and a half since Jarry played. He got shelled. He let in 5 goals, 25 shots, 6-5 loss to the Anaheim Ducks. 4 more goals in 5 of his last 6 games. Look, the Oilers over has been a cash cow. I know they're playing the Hurricanes. At home, I like to see the Hurricanes games go under. How about this, man? Brandon Bussi, 25-3-1. Is that not an amazing record? For a Carolina Hurricanes team that's kind of lying in the weeds. I may have to reconsider my position on where I stack rank Carolina in the Eastern Conference. I like that team. I like Carolina to get this job done, but I went to the over 6.5. Look, I think you could put together Carolina and the over 6.5 as well. I'm going to be mad at anybody that wanted to do that. I approached this game from the total perspective, and it's juiced. So, you know, probably expected to see some 7s by the time we get kicking, but Carolina in the over 6.5 plus 210. Carolina sitting at minus 150. I'm going to add the Carolina Hurricanes. I know I kind of backed into this one funny. I am taking the Carolina Hurricanes as an addition. I'll probably post it out there on Winnable for a free play for whomever is subscribed if you missed it or want to catch it later. But I like the over 6.5. That's the spot I wanted to get in at from the get-go when I saw the card. So that was the play. That's the official spot for me. I'm going to add the Carolina Hurricanes as well. Jerry Davis was just going to say, Bussi guy has been on fire. He sure has. Big Crypto likes the Carolina Hurricanes to win. All right, you guys are giving me some confidence here. Redbeard says WBC live stream. I got to be honest. I'm not against it. I don't see the problem is MMA Jeff doesn't really like baseball. He certainly doesn't really bet on it either. So Friday night, 8 p.m., USA's playing Brazil. Brasilia de Brazil. I'll give you a free play in the World Baseball Classic. Stuff one in here. I'm going to take Bryce Harper to knock a homer. Bryce Harper home run plus 200. Good spot to get that action here this evening. I mean, USA minus 9.5 is pretty much unplayable. What I would do as well, I looked at it. I thought about the exact number of runs being 14. And it pays like $6.50. It's nothing official. It's just a thought. Jerry Davis says, I have nothing solid, but I think Jamichael Stillwell may be out for you at UCF tonight. Kelly V says you can bet Chicago in regulation with Tervarian over 1.5 points. Kelly V says either Carolina anytime goal, Svechkov or Aho. And Jerry Davis says another dog up double digits with Stetson. The Hatters, the Mad Hatters. Got me a little distracted here as we finish up hockey and get ready to go into it. UIC smacking Murray State's the most important thing. Austin P, though. I see. It's so funny how you start looking at games and then it's like I already looked at the card 15 times, but then I start looking and say, oh, there's this game coming up. I already looked at him. I got to calm myself down. When you get a big card like today, I get really, really excited. Let's just hope that Austin P can come back into this thing. The Habs and the Ducks, Montreal Canadiens, going on the road against the Anaheim Ducks. As we look at this Ducks team, are they contenders? Are they pretenders? What the heck is going on from the goaltending side of things here as well? It's Sammy Montembeault. He's back, ready to attack. Lucas Dusto getting the other side. He had the night off. Second leg of a back-to-back. He played like crap. 5 goals on 26 shots. We'll start there. The key cog in the Anaheim Ducks wheel. Now the Montreal Canadiens, Montembeault, 6 goals in a 7-5 loss. What I like about that, wasn't Montembeault. It was Dobies, who's had a hell of a season. But I love that they left him in. It's like I feel like with baseball. If you're going to play like crap, then you're going to have to own it. And don't take your guy off the bench who's scheduled to come back for the first time in over a week and mess up his timing. It's the same thing I just talked about with a couple of other games. So he gets shelled. He owns it. He's the backup. It's Montembeault coming back in there. I like that. Montembeault, 5-2-2 record on his conditioning assignment. Played great in Level Rockets. So I like this side. I like this Canadiens team tonight. I think it's just a sneaky little spot for a couple of reasons. I mean, everybody and their brother knows Cole Caulfield's going to score a goal tonight, or so I've heard. Guy's been on fire. And Nick Suzuki, these two dudes, Caulfield and Suzuki, 129 points in 60 games. That's over 2 points a game from these two guys. So yeah, they probably are due to score some goals out there. Montreal's got one of the best power plays in the NHL. I would take Caulfield to score a goal on a power play, or Suzuki, not just a standard regulation time out there, because their power play is one of the best. They're 7th best in the NHL overall. And the Ducks are still allowing 3rd most goals. Their goaltending issues are a struggle. So for those reasons, I'm taking in on the Habitants. Give me the Montreal Canadiens. Let me take a look at what this pricing is, just so we can put a benchmark out there on some numbers. This is how sometimes I end up adding a play. And I'm like, oh, why did I add all those plays? What happened that I added all those plays? Please. Goal scorer. Power play goals. Oh, it's totals. Milestones. I don't want milestones. I don't want first goal scorer. Caulfield's plus 125. Suzuki's plus 220. I know they got power play points here. Here we go. Power play point for Suzuki is plus 145. A power play point for Caulfield is plus 190. Isn't that interesting? So Caulfield's the guy to score, right? Caulfield's the guy to score, but Suzuki's the guy to get the power play action. I would take Suzuki to score a goal over Caulfield then. Just with that logic that the say is going to be more effective and productive on the power play. But in any event, there's a couple other little player prop shout outs for you guys. Man, we had a great player prop night last night. 3 of 4 hit? So we're up like 8 units in the last 2 days of player props. It's no, I've got a couple for tonight as well. So it ain't no joke, man. These things are cashing. They're kicking butt. They're taking names for us. And it's a lot of fun watching games when you got the player props on the line as well. So let's see. Jerry Davis says, I played over 6.5 Ducks and a parlay of Ducks in the over 6. Ducks puck line and over 6. I'm going to take the Habitants, Jerry. The Habitants. I can't wish you good luck, but I know we'll be back here to talk about it again. So it's all good, my man. The Wild and the Knights. The Vegas Knights. You know, it's funny because I had that. Everyone's calling them Vegas Golden Knights, and it dawned on me, it was a couple of weeks ago here on the show, and I was like, Vegas Knights. I get it. Like, who doesn't want to have a Vegas night? I could use a fucking Vegas night right now. So we've got the Wild. A lot of people high on this Wild team. the Golden Knights. I told you guys sharp perspective betting came in on the Minnesota Wild. Now I gave out a play unwinnable. I'll share it with you guys here as well. I like the first period over 1.5 because that's just the way that, Vegas, especially at home, and the Minnesota Wild, they're both ferocious teams in the first period. They do tend to slow things down though. And on goal here, you've got Gustafsson. He's 22-10 with a 2.54 goals against average. Akira Schmid, I saw I don't know, I happened to be watching the NHL Network yesterday. And 4 of the worst goaltenders in the league are all playing for the Vegas Golden Knights. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I saw Carter Hart and I was like, that makes sense. But there's guys on the team that are playing worse than him. And Akira Schmid comes in here, maybe the best they got. But they're just struggling from a goaltending perspective. And that's part of the reason why I downgraded Vegas when I was talking about him yesterday. You need to have it starts in the net. That's why the Sabres, and then it goes to your defense. That's why the Sabres were so adamant about Parayko, who said, fuck you, Buffalo. They're continuing to try to bring in defensive pieces. And I like the Shen play that they made there. A veteran with size on the blue line for the Buffalo Sabres. 3.06 goals against average for Schmid in his last 6. He's 1-4-1. So I get why the Sharps are fading this Vegas Golden Knights team. And I told you I just gave out I shared my premium action in that first period. But would you believe I'm taking the under in this full game? Some of these guys have been on their gold medal tour right now, like Jack Eichel. There's quite a few of them. I don't know. To me, I looked at what Minnesota just did. Tampa Bay, who a lot of people like as the best team in the Eastern Conference, they held them to 1 goal, right? So it's kind of an impressive stat. You got Kucherov and a squad of assassins, and now I don't think they get shut out. I told you, I think that first period goes over. I think there'll be some tremendous live betting, especially if it's like a 2-1. You're going to be able to catch an under 7.5 at probably a good price tag here, but these two teams have played to a 1-1 totals on the season. They haven't played each other in a while, though, and I just think current form dictates that, yes, Minnesota wins. I get the sharp perspective betting information, but I like this full game to go under 6.5. It's funny because last night when I was on the Rangers under, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be fucked if the Rangers go out there and do it all themselves? And they pretty much did and crushed an under. But any event, I think that this one feels okay to me. I like the early goals, and it probably sounds like it. You know what? We could probably fasten together a same game parlay here. Since we're talking about this one as well. A lot of games to talk about though, man. There's so many to go. You tell you what, that's a later game. I'll put something out. I've got 2 player props already for that game. So I'll put something out there that gets us to it. Jerry Davis says Kabole's a winner, my man. Let's go. And I gave you guys Brooksby here for this afternoon. Plus, we had Zverev. He cashed already as part of the 2-leg parlay. The other side. Brooksby goes off at 6 p.m. Musetti fucking lost. What a bum. He got 2-0, huh? Probably was hurt. 6-1 in the second set. Okay. Let's go to college basketball. I told you guys, I'll just fire through these here. We're running long. I got really excited about some of these NHL analysis and some of these big trends here. So I'll give you guys some quick breakdowns here or some quick trends and angles, and we'll talk about the cash flow splits as well. This is an Ivy League game that will pop off at 7 p.m., 8:33, 8:34. If you're trying to sift through the rotation number on a pretty good sized Friday night college basketball card. And excuse me, UPenn 14-11 comes in on a 2-game winning streak. 9-17 Brown comes in on a 2-game losing streak. So what's interesting is 61% of the bets and 58% of the cash have come in on Penn. Yet They're anywhere from a small dog to a small favorite. A quandary. I don't think overall Penn gives a shit about this game. Nothing left for them to tallywhack around about out there, but they just keep covering spreads. They got themselves a W5 rolling in the spread category. Beat Harvard, beat Yale. I'm sorry, beat Dartmouth. Lost to Yale, but they were getting 9.5 points. They only lost by 4. Beat Cornell, beat Columbia. The most impressive thing are the unders. Penn unders against the conference opponent with a small spread. And that's why I talked about this thing being kind of between the twos. That's not as small as it gets, but figuratively speaking, not literally, but figuratively, that's as small as it gets. 16-2 are them Penn. What are they? Quakers? I believe they're Quakers. The Penn Quakers, I believe. They've cashed 11 straight times to the under. So I did roll in and rock on some under. I thought that was a pretty meaty trend that showed in a spot where they probably don't care. My only fear would be, can Brown go out there and run the score up? And I don't think Brown's going to be dictating any pace. They're 4-7 to the under at home. They're 5-6 against the spread at home. I think this is a throwaway game. I think you take the under. I think you feel pretty good about cashing with me there. As we roll onward, UCF is the game you guys had asked about. I'm excited to talk to you about the under in this game. It's a spot that I really like for a couple of reasons. One, it's back to my Virginia at home. We stay true. We stay loyal to the spots that we believe in. And I do believe, by the way, just to piggyback off that last game, from a sharp perspective betting report, Bellarmine, Arkansas was an earlier game there. They had the under 155.5. Brown +3, kind of playing into that. Maybe Penn doesn't give a shit about this game situation is the other one. So that concludes all the sharp respected betting information that I got for the day. But I looked at this UCF and West Virginia game and yeah, look, it's my squad and it's an under. We laugh about these West Virginia spots here, but this line's come down 2 points. A little nasally this afternoon here. I don't know what happened. It wasn't that. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. But a total of 140.5 moved to 138.5, and you have 66% of the bets and 72% of the cash coming in on the over. Yet it's going under. Both teams coming in here limping. West Virginia stumbled just a little bit. UCF, is it surprising that they're kind of off a little bit of the struggle bus? Not really. They took down Utah and BYU on the road. They slayed big dragons. They were a 14-point dog against BYU. They won by 13 points. So coming back home and finishing out the string, doesn't surprise me that mediocre is the best they've been performing. Defensively, they're not playing great, but I think that this is one of those spots where West Virginia, who's also been struggling at 1-4, interestingly enough, big win against BYU. BYU seems to be the centerpiece. Like they're not quite, they're like the top of the bottom, or the bottom of the top, I guess, right? Of this Big 12. Maybe the top 5 schools, they're kind of like BYU. They're just not quite good enough because they get run up by some of these schools like West Virginia. But in any event, I was looking at this. I told you guys we've got some trendage. Trendage can be our friendage here. And it comes down to 18-0. When you put West Virginia in the favorite role with more than a day's rest, if their opponent attempted more than 14 free throws the previous game. Free throws cheat the totals. Makes sense. They go back to a defensive way. And they're scoring an average 126.9 points a game. So you got about a double-digit buffer in there. Then you look at Central Florida. They're 12-0 to the under. You put them in the dog roll, 10 or more points lower than their previous game. After a game as a favorite, they're averaging 119.6 points a game. That's a 20-point margin out there. So probably UCF takes the big L. Probably it's West Virginia that picks up the dub. But I think realistically, we look at ourselves in a total here. Give me the under as a best bet. One of my favorite bets on the entire card tonight. At home, 139.5 is the number. If you want to parlay it together, pick parlay West Virginia on the money line with them there. It's a big win. It'd be a big win for UCF for West Virginia against a teams struggling with injury concerns, as we talked about here with, I think, our guy Jerry Davis had mentioned that as well. Jerry Davis says, I was on Penn, but think Brown is the spot. Okay. Jerry Davis says, Kelly, all those overs in Denver not in top 250 in pace, offensive efficiency great, and defense poor. That game's got me perplexed. Kelly V says, rooting for Miami, Ohio to win and be undefeated. Money line as a parlay. College basketball over 153. Denver 20 overs, 8 unders. See, I like the under, but trends will show you the over in that game. It's a weird one for me. I just had to stay away. Just my thoughts and opinions. My plays. Some trends that I was able to uncover and share with you guys. The Battle of Ohio is in front of us here between Miami of Ohio and Ohio. Big showdown. Some would say the best showdown. A lot of people are anticipating that this Miami, Ohio team continues to roll in and lose to Akron as the final game in the MAC championship. And then the question is, will a one-loss Miami, Ohio MAC school be good enough to get into the tournament? The big dance, the big enchilada. I don't know. It makes a good storyline. I certainly see that. But I'm not going to fade this Miami, Ohio team. They just keep now, the moderate spread. So it being senior night for Ohio, 87% of the bets and 90% of the cash have come in on Miami, Ohio. It's not moving. It's a little bit of a red flag. Am I buying it? I'll tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not waiting to try. I'm not trying to play the guessing game as to which team is it that's going to knock these boys down. Ohio's fucking terrible. Now they're 9-5 against the spread at home. So I guess I could see why the line's not really moving with all that respected action coming in, but they just got thumped. They were a 1.5 point dog to UMass, and they got thumped by 12 points. They got thumped by Toledo. I think Buffalo, by the way, gives Toledo a run for their money tonight, +9. I think that's a wrong team favored situation. But I don't know. I'm not going to get too cute with it. I'm just going to take Miami, Ohio, -5.5, and know that we've made enough money on these boys that come shit or Steinola. We'll find a way to see if we can't get there and get that cash. I do. By the way, I do subscribe to that thinking process that it'll be Akron that, I just like chaos. I like to see chaos and, what are they going to do? Because it's a great narrative. It's a great storyline. Kelly V agrees with West Virginia under UCF 18-9 ATS. Okay. I got to pick up pace. Good thing we're getting close to the end. UNLV and San Diego State coming into this one here. Look, I thought this one is kind of a narrative spot or not even a narrative spot. It's a motivation spot out there. I don't think UNLV cares. They just had their big game. Their line's at 10.5. It's gone to, there's some 9.5s out there. Check this out. 90% of the bets are on the UNLV road dog. That's a problem. That itself is a problem. But 65% of the money, so the bigger bettors, are back in San Diego State. And I think when you look at it, you have to assess it and just recognize the situation and the spot. San Diego State was dominant. Remember I said to you guys yesterday with San Diego, I was surprised to see how poorly they played. And then I said, there's like 100 San Diegos. And shout out to Ramon Scott because he lets us know anytime anything happens with anybody that's even got some sort of lineage back to San Diego. San Diego State was one of those teams, though, that kind of got me as well. Because I looked at them and thought, man, they seem to be the class. And it seems like every time we bet on them, they were producing results for us here. But they're a 500 spread team. They lost 3 of their last 4 games. The only team they beat was that Utah State situation. It was a big game, 24-5 Utah State. But it's almost like once they beat that team, they go to the pit. They lose 81-76, small dogs. They got Boise State on deck. Listen, I think this is one of those situations where you take San Diego State. Things got a little paranoid for these boys here. They were controlling their own destiny. They shit the bed the last couple of games. They get to restabilize. They had back-to-back roadies. They lose to New Mexico. They lose to that Boise State spot. And now you're home. And it's Friday night. And you get a chance here with UNLV. If there was a Super Bowl in this Mountain West Conference, it'd have to be them beating Utah State by like 20 points, right? So this is just a fade spot. UNLV checked out. San Diego has to dial back in. It's 9.5, 10.5 points. I get it. It makes sense to me. It's a monster spread because they do need to go out there and put the boot to ass. By the way, boot to ass, not belt to ass, boot to ass. You know, who says belt to ass here? Let me ask you this. Is it kicking someone's ass, or do they talk about taking your belt off and smacking someone's bottom, right? It's boot to ass. That means you're kicking their ass. We solved that mystery too. Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics here as we round her up to get the show to a close. Appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us here. We are going to put the replay out there with timestamps, so you'll be able to check it out if you missed the show live. I appreciate you checking us out on the replay. Again, make sure you smash the thumbs up button. We've been having ourselves a pleasant little NBA season. And pleasantly, I'm going to take the Boston Celtics to smash in this game. Big spread. I get it. For a reason. And we're going to go back to the one that's been working for us. It's kind of the tank factor. High spreads, bad teams, cover. They've cashed 10 straight times. It's 47-15 over the last 2 years since tanking has become all-time disgusting. It's winning at a 76% rate. I don't know if I could show you a better trend. Celtics, after scoring 90 or less in their last game, are a perfect 13-0 against the spread. So, big spread for a reason, does cover 76% of the time. And the Celtics, if they fail to put points on the board, come back raring the next game. Over a 4-year trend, that's 13 straight wins. That's how you go out there and get that cash out there. Boston Celtics smash. Where's our guy Nasty Nate? Where's he been? He's been slacking. You're going to have to smack him with that wrench and wake his ass up here. Boston's going to smash tonight, Nate. And then we got the last game, the Pelicans and the Suns. Here come the Suns. Strawberry Fields. New Orleans Pelicans suck. Phoenix Suns, at home anyhow, much better squad. 9 p.m. start. Looking at this game, and, you know, I neglected to give you guys the cash flow splits on that Celtics game because, frankly, it's a big number. This one, though, is interesting. We've got a lot of people taking this road dog in the Pelicans. 59% of the bets and 63% of the cash. Like them Pelicanos. I can't do it. I just can't get in there on the Pelicans. I'm not in the Pelicans business. I know you can fade the Suns and you've probably been somewhat profitable, but bad road teams and low totals do not produce a positive outcome. See, it's the dog and the over affiliation that kind of says, like, the reason the spread doesn't get covered is because the dog surprised you, right? It showed up, it showed out. Sometimes that could mean it played strong defense, but for all intent and purpose and conversation point, it's the dog that drives the over. And so when you've got the home team in a spread situation that's 6, 7, 8 points, they're saying that their dominance dictates the pace of the game. And I get it. And that's why you see a lower total, because they're saying the other team's just not going to produce. Well, in those situations, the numbers validate it. It's 30-8. You fade the bad road team when it's a low total. All that hyperbole that I just spit out there, that hot fire, has cashed 11 straight times. So in these situations, I know the numbers come down. I think that we're just, in this case, catching a discount against what should be the right play. The right play in this case, Phoenix Suns -4.5. Hopefully you guys get to the window with me. There's Nasty Nate. See, I said his name 3 times and he popped out like fucking Beetlejuice. Jerry Davis says, can't mess with the Celtics reintroducing Tatum to the lineup. Duskilla likes the Suns. Celtics smash. Celtics second quarter for Nasty Nate, and Tatum over 11.5 points, man. What a way to end the show, you guys. Great job, everybody. Thanks for being here. And listen, we've put the work in. We've got the bets laid out. All we can do now is enjoy an adult beverage, spend some time with your family and friends, and cross your fingers that we come to the victory row here after a beautiful show here. Nice job, you guys. Thank you for being here. Smash the thumbs up. Comment, please. I know several of you guys are doing it. I hope more of you would do it. Just leave me a comment after the show. Tell me what your favorite play is. Tell me if you like the sharp respected betting information. Tell me if you like the new form. I don't know. Tell me something. Most important thing you can do is go in there, comment, and tell me something. Until next time, you guys, I'll be back 11 a.m. tomorrow with my man, Miggity Mac Daddy, talking to you guys about college basketball. And then, of course, 4:45 p.m. we'll pop off UFC 326. The BMF title is on the line. Good luck to everybody. Have a great night. Good luck.